So why haven't we got the Spawn reboot? What's going on? Well, Todd McFarlane is the problem here. I know it's a pretty outrageous claim to make straight off the bat, but I'm going to show you why. And this headline is not really the reason why, but it is one of. It is absolutely one of the reasons as to why the Spawn reboot probably won't happen if Todd McFarlane is so front and center. Now, I know that's probably going to rile a few people up, I know, but let me, bear with me. So it says, if you followed Todd McFarlane of late, you'll know he's trying his damnedest to get a Spawn reboot off the ground, and he has. In fact, I've got essentially every single headline about this, and that again indicates as to why it's never going to happen, but we'll get onto that in a second. Now it says, according to the legendary comic creator, he's got a list of demands to ensure the movie gets made the way he wants it made. It needs to be R-rated, and guess what? He needs to be the director. Now you might think to yourself, what has he directed? Well, he's directed nothing. And that is part and parcel of what the issue is here. Now, he says, and this is what's the latest news, I have very few demands for the movie. He told Shuriken, I've butchered that, but whatever. It has to be rated R. There's no debate around that. And with the story I want to tell, again, this is interesting, right? So listen to what he says. With the story I want to tell, my intent goes back to that Spawn cloud. I am less concerned about what happens in the movie. Kind of a contradictory statement there, Todd. With the story I want to tell, I am less concerned about what happens in the movie. Anyway, as long as Spawn is cool and badass. Are you 12? Now, the last demand is that I am the director. That's it. Everything else is up for conversation. Well, there's some pretty big demands there, Todd, my dude. It being rated R is a big demand in this day and age. And it's not to say that rated R movies can't do well, joke around $1 billion. But you're hinging everything on, people knowing who the hell Spawn is. And unfortunately, he doesn't actually have a wide fan base. Yes, they absolutely has a fan base, but not a huge one. And the fact that he is saying, I must be the director, but you can do anything else, it doesn't matter. Well, as director, you do have creative control when you're on set. So, the fact that you're saying everything else is up for debate doesn't really mean an awful lot there. Now he says, now this is the bigger reveal here, and this is why I say him being the director is the main issue. Last week I got some discouraging news. We had an Academy Award-winning guy who was going to do the movie with us. Now, we've had 2 people confirmed for this, or at least attached, Jeremy Renner and Jamie Foxx. So, which one of them's left, basically? Yeah, which one's left? I don't think Jeremy Renner's ever earned an Academy Award, but I'm fairly certain Jamie Foxx has. I could be wrong on that, but I'm fairly certain he has. Now, the reason why the discouraging news happened, well, here he says it. So, we had people willing to fund the movie as long as we had this guy attached, but schedules were conflicting and things had to change. That's how close we are to getting this thing off the ground. But you don't have full money. You don't have a story. You don't have proper backers. And now you don't even have a car. So, essentially, this has taken too long. The Academy Award winner has just gone, no, sorry, I can't even give remote time for this now. At all. Because, look, at the end of the day, if he's saying that I've got very few demands here, we had some financiers, but they're all gone now. It was all hinged on one guy. It doesn't really sound like you're that close to it getting off the ground, Todd. And in fact, now you are no closer to getting it off the ground. And a lot of it is hinging on who you are as a director. I.e., you're no one as a director. And that's not a slight on him. He's never directed anything. Now he says, Hollywood is a different place right now. They understand the value of what Spawn can bring to a reasonable budget. Joker lit the fire. Up until now, it felt like I was pushing up this boulder on my own, but now there are others joining me who know that these stories should be told. But you don't have a story. It doesn't matter what happens in the movie, as long as Spawn is cool and badass. And that I'm the director. Doesn't really sound like you have that much of a story, and now you don't have a cast. Now again, I thought we would take a look at Spawn reboot headlines, right? So, and these are not even that far back, but it is interesting. Like, look at this, all the way back. All the way back. So, Spawn and Venom movie crossover could be a possibility, according to Todd McFarlane. Now, I want to get into all of this, because this has been going... Look, so, Spawn movie has begun casting, an exclusive. Now, when was this? 2018, ladies and gentlemen. May 2018. We're casting 2 years ago. Now, it goes on. Todd McFarlane says Spawn is a supernatural thriller, not a horror movie. Right, okay. Todd McFarlane on how much Jamie Foxx's Spawn will actually appear in the movie, because we had Jamie Foxx down there. And his comments were, well, he's not going to appear that much. Spawn writer and director Todd McFarlane says he wants to get audiences out of superhero mode. So he said if you look at it from a superhero perspective, then of course Batman and Captain America and Spider-Man are on screen a ton because the cameras follow them down. That's who the camera is following. When you start going into creep movies, then the camera doesn't follow the boogeyman or the monster, it follows humans. So he was saying, no, my movie, we're not going to do that. Think about all the creep movies you've seen in your life, which I'm sure dozens and dozens you've seen on TV, which is dozens and dozens of these. That's the formula. Just taking the superhero genre and mixing it with the creep formula. That's the only thing that will come off as being quote-unquote sort of different about it. So it wasn't going to appear in it that much. So Twitch was the character, basically. And then you would see, literally compared it to Jaws. Twitch is the character I keep calling my Sheriff Brody. That movie is about the shark and how the shark moves and what he does. That's my Spawn. Twitch is like Brody, who's part of the human contingent who's trying to find out if this thing really does exist. And again, when was this? This is June 2018. This movie is never getting off the ground, guys. Ever. It's just not. And we'll go a step further. Todd McFarlane explains the bigger role Jamie Foxx will play in Spawn, reveals how production will work for Spawn. So remember these titles, right? Todd McFarlane confirms action figures for the Spawn movie. Remember these headlines. Remember them. They're really, really important. Venom, Spawn crossover, yeah, sure. Spawn, cast Jeremy Renner is Twitch. Todd McFarlane talks casting Twitch and Spawn. Spawn, how Jamie Foxx and Grey Goose Vodka helped cast Jeremy Renner. What? Jamie Foxx reveals how he convinced Todd McFarlane to cast him in Spawn. Jamie Foxx has begun crafting Spawn for new movie, right? So remember all these things. Spawn Reboot's working title revealed. They don't even have financiers. This movie has just consistently been up and down. It's just insane. I don't think I've come across a movie quite as up and down as this for a long time. Spawn Reboot production start date and location revealed. Right, when was this? This is in October. Todd is the problem here. Todd is the problem. They don't even have anything actually going on here. And so remember this. Remember, working title and they've location is all revealed, right? Remember all of that. Remember it all, and then we go further. Todd McFarlane reveals what needs to happen to get a Spawn movie made. But I thought you had the working title and locations done. Todd, what's going on here? And then the more recent stuff, again, because we've not had any updates for a while. More recent stuff. Todd McFarlane says Spawn movie delay won't stop him. Will finance through Kickstarter if necessary. Todd McFarlane reveals what Jason Blum has told him about the Spawn movie. Todd is the issue. Todd is the problem with this. And it's not a slight on Todd. Again, why Spawn creator Todd McFarlane isn't worried about being a first-time director. Him being the director is the problem. He is the problem here. He's confident behind stepping behind the camera on a Spawn reboot because he's surrounded by stars who will make him look good. What? No, this is easy. Question number 1. Todd, are you nervous about being a first-time director? No. Should you? As a human being? Yes, of course I should, but I don't. I've directed this movie 1,000 times in my brain. It's not the same thing. If any of you saw this movie called A Star Is Born, Bradley Cooper directed that, first-time director, you tell me that movie. Yeah, but the problem is, Bradley Cooper has been in movies. He's been around directors. You haven't. He was smart enough to surround himself with good people. I'm going to be the least experienced person on that set. They're going to make me look good all day. Unfortunately, this movie's never going to happen because Todd is the problem here. And again, Todd McFarlane is making changes to the Spawn script. Spawn creator wants the movie to look like Adam Sandler's Uncut Gems. Like, what? It's just up and down, left, right, and centre. It just can't stop talking about it, and it's never going to happen. I doubt this is ever going to happen. So anyway, I thought you'd find this interesting. His demands is what the problem is, because his demands seemingly fluctuate. He doesn't have a clear-cut story. And if you don't have a clear-cut story, how can you pitch a movie? Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comments. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Stay up to date on the world of pop culture and movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Thanks so much. Take care.